we'll start with you. Go.
Did a lot of good things Sunday.
Yeah.
How you balance the things you did well with your team as opposed to, okay, still some things to work on, and the bottom line is still came up short
Right.
as far as you move to the next game here.
Yeah, we talked about it obviously a lot yesterday. Obviously some correctable things. We wanted to double Mac. And Caitlin did such a good job of kind of pushing her off the block. She was kind of in that gray zone of, and we didn't quite commit to it a couple times, and that's when they get their fan-out, kick-out threes. Now, when we were able to do it, it worked. It was successful for us. So just really building on that, trying to get everybody to understand. And there's some other things that we allow to happen that you can't allow to happen when you play against a really good ball club. We just got to keep working and keep getting better at what we're solid at, and try to improve the things where we lack.
The $1 million question is, how do you build off this now?
Yeah. You talk to them after the game, and, the message is like, okay, here you are, you showed us that you have it. You showed us some grit. You showed us some fight. You showed us some want to. You showed us that winning was the most important thing. It wasn't playing time. It wasn't shots. It wasn't anything other than Purdue winning. It's like you said, it's like the $1 million question. I think if every coach had the answer to that, maybe there wouldn't be coaches. There'd be somebody who just make a lot of money giving all that advice to everybody. But it is my job, our job as a staff to kind of help find that and bring that out every day.
But just the importance of not taking a step back now. I mean, you're not, the intensity and stuff, it's
right.
Not going to be that way every game, but just not to take a slide back.
Whoever we play, the mentality has to be winning is the most important thing, no matter what. And we think if we can compete and play really hard, I told that kid right there, when she plays hard and has fun, our team tends to follow the lead.
There's 7 offensive rebounds there too.
Play hard, have fun.
So, over the last several losses that you guys have suffered, what lessons are you taking from those and hoping to build on moving forward?
Gosh, I feel like it's been forever. It's been 4 games in a row now. Every game has been a different reason, but the main one that we if we can take care of the basketball, and we can compete, we give ourselves chances. Obviously, you're not always gonna shoot the ball well. The other teams maybe have great nights, but if you take care of it, it make teams play in the half court against our defense, our set defense, and we play hard and compete, then we're gonna give ourselves a chance.
Now, you guys have always been a team that responds very well to situations. Last year, you guys would lose, get a ranked point in literally the next game. This year, with it being such a young team, how do you kind of get those players in that same mindset that maybe the older players have?
I think they have it. It's just a matter of just not translating to wins right now. I think they have it. I think they respond in practices. I think our young kids have responded in games, in moments. They have it in them. It just hasn't translated to wins, and it's on us. We got to dig a little deeper and find a way to come on top tomorrow night.
Michigan State, new coach, new system.
Yeah,
they put up a lot of points.
80 a game, whatever that is. I think they're undefeated every time they score 80. So they're coming off a game where they scored 50. Their lowest outcome. So their lowest output. So we their home floor, expecting to come out with a lot of juice early. So we got to make sure we come out swinging and punching first and not get knocked down on our heels. But space of floor, a lot of shooters. Everybody shoots it. Everybody drives it. They're going to press. We got to make sure we're taking care of the basketball, those things. But nothing too complicated. What they do is their playbook isn't massively thick, but they've got 9-10 actions that they do really, really well, and we've got to be locked in.
Do you feel like you've been in position to challenge more 3-pointers here recently? I mean, shooters are going to make shots. That's just the way.
Yeah.
I mean, you made shots with a hand in your face.
Yeah.
But do you feel like you're in good position, or is there something more that
sometimes
needs to be?
I think because we do like to trap on the baseline side, so sometimes we get caught not moving on fly to the basketball or short closeouts and maybe not recognizing what shooters we're trying to run offline. Some of us aren't the tallest players, and so short closeouts don't make a lot of sense.
Right.
You know, I think we missed a couple against Indiana where we wanted to run them off the line and make them dribble a basketball, where we didn't understand that it was a shooter or wasn't a shooter. Just locking into personnel, locking into scout. There's a couple kids from Michigan State that don't shoot it, but everybody else will. So making sure you understand, okay, if I'm closing out on that person, I don't need to run at them. But if it's somebody else, I got to make sure I'm running them off the line if we're late.
Speaking of blocking into scout, I know that was a really big thing in the beginning of the year, was trying to get everybody on the same page when it came to scouting, and especially the new players saying like, hey, this is really important. Obviously that was shown in the game against Indiana this past weekend. How has the team improved when it comes to scout?
Yeah, I think for the most part, there's just times when we forget, you know, who someone is or who that is on the backside. You know, in a game like in Indiana, you can't lose track of something like that. You know, in some other games, maybe non-conference games, you can kind of get away with those things. But for the most part, we've been much better detail-oriented when it comes to scout.
Now, speaking of detail-oriented, what are some of those specific details that you're focusing on in the game for tomorrow?
Oh, man, a lot of them. Specific, you know, without giving our game plan away. You know, they run a lot of ghost screens, so making sure we're locked into what we want to do on a ghost screen. A lot of point guard, you know, getting downhill. They run a couple actions off some pin downs that you got to be locked in. A lot of high on ball screens we got to guard. So. You know, I think we worked on one specific way yesterday. We'll throw a couple of them at them tomorrow and really figure out what fits our personnel best. And by tomorrow, 6:30, we'll have a game plan and see if we can execute it.
Perfect.